Greetings everyone and welcome back to the channel. Europe is preparing for a CBDC which is estimated to launch on October 2025, so basically in a couple of months from now. In this video, I'm going to unveil the connections between the digital euro and XRP and why fundamentally the digital euro is going to run on top of the XRP Ledger. I'm going to be backing up my claims with factual information, and before we get started, we're going to be watching together this video from Christine Lagarde. Later on, we're going to also watch a clip where she praises Ripple openly. It's one of the few times where I have seen Christine Lagarde openly mention Ripple.
On your second point, I tend to share your views. Nature doesn't like vacuum. And we started working on the digital euro way back. Actually, when I started my term 5.5 years ago. And I'm not claiming, parentality on the digital euro, because my colleague Benoit Cœuré had already committed a speech on this matter before I arrived.
Benoit Cœuré was following Brett Garlinghouse exactly 5 years ago.
But I certainly carried on with that project, and subsequently Fabio Panetta on the board, and then Piero Cipollone, who has replaced Fabio, have taken the lead together with a very, very good team, which is focused on accelerating the pace and hopefully campaigning enough with all the stakeholders, meaning European Parliament, meaning European Council, meaning European Commission, so that we can eventually, not put to bed, but put to reality this digital euro. The deadline for us is going to be October of 25, and we are getting ready for that deadline, but we will not be able to move unless the other parties, the stakeholders, as I call them, Commission, Council, and Parliament, actually complete the legislative process, without which we will not be able to move. And I think it is critically important, and it seems to the agnostic or the skeptics, it seems to be more relevant and more of an imperative now than ever before, both on the wholesale and on the retail level, both.
Wholesale and retail. For me, that means Ripple and Stellar, XRP and XLM. Now let's watch the next clip.
New technologies that will actually change the way in which intermediation is conducted, eliminate some of the barriers, including the unconscious biases that exist out there. And I think in the banking system at large, in many countries, the difference will not be between those who are disrupted and those who survive, but it will be between those who are cannibalized because they are not seeing it coming and they're not embracing it, and those who self-induce that cannibalization. And I'm using cannibalization on purpose because it's a bit of a striking, horrible word, but it's really what it means. It's you're going to disrupt your business model, you're going to change it, you're going to reduce your cost, you're going to expedite your transactions, and you're going to continue to inspire confidence because you will build that on the basis of an existing backbone, which is your bank and the confidence relationship that you've established with your customers. So that's where I see changes happening now. If you think of Circle and Ripples and all those, that's where they are active and helpful.
Ripple, get this. The European Central Bank is trying to hide from us that it's utilizing the XRP Ledger on tips, instant target payments. If you are European, you are probably familiar with this system. Let me show you a video I did personally a couple of years ago. So you're going to start to understand the connections and why I am 100% convinced the digital euro is going to run on top of the XRP Ledger.
The European Central Bank is trying to hide from us that the payment system called TIPS is utilizing the XRP Ledger, but I'm going to prove to you they are actually lying. With an account named Mike Manfield has asked the European Central Bank by replying to one of their tweets about TIPS, and he has actually asked, does it use Ripple? XRP was very often described as Ripple back in 2018, and there we have the European Central Bank that actually says, hi there, no, it does not utilize Ripple, which stands for the XRP Ledger in this case, and I'm going to prove to you they are lying. So this is actually called Target Instant Payment Services, also known as TIPS. So if you are European, you are probably familiar with TIPS. So TIPS is actually a settlement mechanism that was implemented by the European Central Bank and is utilized to connect central banks such as Banca d'Italia, Banco de España, Banco de France, and Deutsche Bundesbank. So remember, Target Services is also known as TIPS. And here we go. So here you can actually see TAS Network Gateway, and among the networks, who is there? Yeah, Ripple, XRP Ledger. Why are they trying to hide from us that they are utilizing XRP Ledger, Ripple technology over here? But don't pause this video. The best is yet to come. So here we have the SIA, which works together with the European Central Bank for digital payments, besides from working with central institutions and banks, corporates, and public administration bodies. Now, towards the future, the Excellence Network Center. So this presentation took place actually in Italy, and I'm going to translate that for you. That's actually extremely important. I'm from Italy, and it's my duty to translate this over here for you. Let me give you some context here. So here we have the SIA, highly connected with Ripple. SIA, Ripple, dei circa 75 fornitori di piattaforme blockchain, non tutti sopravviveranno al 2025, saranno 5 le piattaforme blockchain DLT mainstream. So there you have, it's already decided. The central banks have already decided from 75 different blockchain providers, not all of them will survive, meaning that they are telling you that by 2025, we're going to have 5 blockchains. Do you see over here that first they were mentioning 75, they were telling you over here, it's all decided long time ago. They didn't decide yesterday. They're not going to rely on some technology created 6 months ago. It has been all decided over here. All of this, that's why so many times I say 2025 is the year. They are telling you multiple times. They are not telling you, but in their private meetings, this is not for the public. This is a meeting not designed for us retail investors. This is a meeting between the bankers over here. They are telling you 2025 is the year. There will be 5 mainstream DLT platforms, and especially this here. So where is this taking us over here? Ripple. Do you see this? Ripple is the main platform over here, which of course, and when they say Ripple over here, of course they're referring to the XRP Ledger.
Well, the first thing looking back to that video, which I probably made in around 2022, is that my video skills are definitely better. I do have a new mic. But that being said, the video is spot on. It's showing us a clear connection between TIPS and the XRP Ledger, and for some reason, they didn't want the public to know about this. Here is Christine Lagarde meeting with Michael Barr, which works for the Federal Reserve. He's also a former Ripple executive. As Christine Lagarde mentioned, this is a long-term plan. And here you can see the Central Bank of France successfully testing on the XRP Ledger for the digital euro, for the CBDC. Banque de France successfully used CBDCs in a test environment in connection with Target 2 Securities, the European Central Bank settlement platform. And here we see that the document has also stated that the Central Bank of France has already discussed XRP and Ripple as a potential platform for making the digital euro. So you do have multiple documents from the Central Bank of France openly mentioning XRP. I'm gonna link that one on the comments. And never forget that the Prime Minister of Montenegro, which has euro as its official currency, has utilized the XRP Ledger for building its own CBDC. So you do have multiple European countries who are successfully testing on the XRP Ledger. There you can see on the picture, it's Brett Garlinghouse sitting with the Prime Minister of Montenegro. So for me, it's very clear. Ripple is not an ordinary company and XRP is not an ordinary asset. And I quote, digital asset investor. Well, that was my update for today. Just for you to know, I am no enthusiast of CBDCs, but I prefer to be an early investor than a late adopter of a technology. And unfortunately, 99% of people are going to be late adopters. So apparently everything's going to start in Europe. I hope you are getting prepared for this transformation. I really don't see any other technology with the same capabilities of the XRP Ledger. Thousands of transactions per second, without downtime. That's why they can't use Solana. That's why they can't use Ethereum. I see the XRP Ledger as the only capable layer 1 blockchain to run the digital euro. I hope that was a useful update. Thank you everyone, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Dom.